This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Hello, welcome everybody into the 2024 Titan Classic Championship game. It's the Carl Albert Titans and the Sand Springs Sandites on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Josh Calloway with you. Jordan Ray is down courtside with Coach Kyle Ritchie. Let's go down to Jordan right now.
Yes, all right, we are. All right, good to be joined by Coach Ritchie here. All right, Coach, what are you going to tell your team about that pressure Sand Springs played? They were really good against Del City with it. What's important for your team to handle their pressure?
Don't panic. I mean, just don't panic, and if you make one mistake, don't let it snowball into another one.
When you look at what they have on offense, talking about Sand Springs, what concerns you most defensively?
Transition D. We got to get back. We can't give up easy shots. We got to make them score in a half-court set. We just give them layups, then it's going to be a long night for us.
All right, good luck, Coach. Good luck, Asha.
Coach of the year, go Titans.
All right, Josh.
Setting up for a coach there. Got a player snuck in there. I think that was Asha Moore. I couldn't quite tell. We're about ready to get this going. We've been a great tournament here, the Titan Classic. We're excited to bring you the championship game here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Let's go ahead and get our starting lineups here presented by Dynamic Health Clinic. At Dynamic Health Clinic, Dr. Kaufman specializes in athletic injuries and able to get athletes back in action very quickly using a system called Advanced Muscle Integration. Play better, recover faster at Dynamic Health Clinic. Starting lineup first for Sand Springs. We have the national anthem here going. Number 1 is going to be Hope Bump for the Sandites. Number 2 is Kari Wilson, who's had a tremendous tournament so far. Number 3 is Tayana Morris. Number 13, Aaliyah Simone. And number 21 is Tiana Butler. The Sandites are coached by Joshua Berry. As for Carl Albert, number 11 is Evie Mitchell. She's a 5'3 junior. Number 15, Jakari Brown. Number 20 is Essence Curry. Number 23, Audrey Plunkett, and number 24 is Asha Moore. And they are, of course, coached by Kyle Ritchie, you just heard talking to Jordan Ray a moment ago. As got the national anthem here, we'll get the game started for you in just a moment.
All right, Josh, I'm back up here with you.
Jordan has rejoined me.
Yeah, as I transported over here. So anyway, looking forward to this game, Titans and Sand Springs. And Titans have a chance here, but they're going again without Skylar Anderson, so that's going to be a very big deal. But Asha Moore, you saw her down on the floor during that interview. She's very relaxed right now for Carl Albert. That's a good sign. It's going to be her last Titan Classic. She would like to win one here. She hasn't won one yet. And she's the type of player, because she's technically the starting center for Carl Albert, that you like to have against a team like Sand Springs that can press so well.
It'll be a fun matchup here. Obviously, these are two teams that have played really well this week. And we'll see if they can finish it off. Sand Springs is coming off that upset win over Evan Memorial, the 1 seed yesterday. Carl Albert knocking off Westmore in the semifinals.
Evie Mitchell will be starting again, second straight start.
Check. And a 5'9" senior, number 24.
Got some audio issues here.
Head coach Kyle Ritchie, assisted by Robert Banks and Mike Maple.
So we're about ready to get this going. Carl Albert going to be in the road gray on their home floor with the black numbers, the cursive red Titans across the chest. Sand Springs the home whites with the yellow numbers and yellow Sandites across the front. It's been a great tournament, 2024 Titan Classic. We're looking to go out on a high note here. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray on a Saturday afternoon. Glad you found us wherever you did. Finish this thing up on a high note, Jordan. Here we go. The Titan Classic Championship game. It'll be Plunkett and Butler doing the opening tip. Sandites win it. They're going right to left from our vantage point here, just above the court at Carl Albert Titan Fieldhouse. Glad you to be with us on a Saturday afternoon. First possession for the Sandites.
Saw two long athletic players jump center, and Carl Albert starts out in a man.
Here's Kari Wilson, who was so good yesterday in the win over Edmond Memorial, has her first shot disrupted, and then an unforced error and a turnover here as Aja Moore fired it ahead to Mitchell a little wide of the mark.
Yeah, Sand Springs, they trap off a missed shot. Aja Moore was initially composed, but that's a high degree of difficulty pass she made to Evie Mitchell, so she needs someone else to flash to the middle, perhaps, to help her out.
This is a freshman, Aliyah Simone for the Sandites, number 13. Now Wilson with the basketball on the elbow. Lost moment, now gets it back, and she'll take it out. Good job to avoid the turnover. Corner three ball here is airballed long by Morris. So empty trip for Sand Springs. Carl Albert has it back in the other direction. Here's Jakari Brown, right-hand floater, got it. And the Titans are on the board first, 2-0 for the hometown team.
That is a big deal because Carl Albert's gone up to very slow starts on offense, and part of the problem has been their guards have not been able to finish in the paint, but Jakari Brown does something different by making that shot to open up the game in the first Carl Albert possession.
Here's Hope Bump, who's had a very nice tournament for the Sandites. Up and under move and a nice finish around Plunkett, ties it up.
Plunkett was all over at first, but Bump just made a really fantastic move.
Been a few key members for this Sandites team. Bump, certainly one of them, who have just been dynamite the entire tournament. Shot there doesn't go for the Titans. Start the break. Rocket pass ahead to Morris from Wilson. And Sand Springs got their first lead early, 4-2.
And that's something Coach Ritchie talked about, transition defense.
Essence Curry just getting ahead of the defense here. Pass to Moore. Tries to finish and can't. Another one of these talented freshmen for Sand Springs. Tiana Butler on the rebound. Gives it up to Wilson. Wilson going to go all the way to the rim, and it's blocked by Plunkett, but they're going to call a foul here. Must have been with the body, right? Because it seemed like that was all ball.
I don't even know if it was on Plunkett.
It was. It was on Plunkett. That's her first.
I didn't see anything there.
Yeah, no, I didn't really either. So the foul on Plunkett, though, first personal, first team foul of the game on either side. It's a little over 2 minutes in, and Wilson hits the first free throw. It's a little 5-0 run here for Sand Springs. They can add another one at the line. Make sure we get our first quarter sponsor in while Wilson lines up the second one. Casa Juanito, which is a quick service restaurant offering fresh and flavorful fiesta meals in Del City, Oklahoma since 1976. Located at 4718 Southeast 29th Street in Del City. 2-for-2 trip for Wilson, 6-2 lead for the Sandites. There's Brown on the wing, takes it out toward the top now off a screen set by Aja Moore. Feeds it over to Moore. Gives it up to Curry, steps to the left and fires from three. Side of the rim, no. Rebound will go out of bounds and back over to the Sandites.
That's good for Carl Albert that at least that missed shot went out of bounds because the transition defense did not get off to a good start. We got Sand Springs scoring once in transition, and then they drew a foul in transition. And that's because of Wilson mostly. She's obviously a dynamic playmaker.
Wilson at the top of the key, who was just relentless, nonstop bucket getter in their win over Edmond Memorial yesterday in overtime. They took down the #1 seed yesterday, Sandites. That Edmond Memorial team just cruised to a third-place finish. Clackam's three ball for Tiana Morris firing away. It's a Bobby Lewis Insurance three-pointer, our first one of the day. Surprisingly great rates with two locations to serve you in Choctaw and Del City. It's a 9-0 run for the Sandites. Here's Plunkett, takes a double team, spins off it. She'll fire a long two. Got it. Not exactly an in-rhythm shot, but she hit it. Breaks up the scoring run for the Sandites. Quickly the other way, Hope Bump has underneath the rim. Turnaround shot is devoured by Plunkett. Ball's loose, scooped up by Butler. Saved the possession for Sand Springs. Wilson will fire. Too much. The long rebound's going to go out of bounds and go back over to Carl Albert.
A lot of contact.
Oh, yeah.
When Bump goes down, she brings you with her. As Plunkett fell down twice. Plunkett's guarding Bump. There's a cross match right there with Plunkett and Asha Moore, but on the defensive end for Carl Albert, Plunkett's guarding Bump. She can definitely cause problems with her sides as long as she moves her feet well.
The Plunkett, Bump, Moore, Tiana Butler, that kind of 2v2 is going to be really fun to watch. And right on cue, Aja Moore, a nice tough finish through some contact. Makes it 9-6 as we near the midway point of the first quarter.
So Curry got the assist. We're seeing Carl Albert's guards make a couple plays here in the half court. That is real important. They've got to make some plays in the half court setting for Carl Albert to be successful.
Here's Bump on the block, turnaround underneath shot. Plunkett just gave her nowhere to go. Mitchell helped out a little bit, got the miss. Titans have it going back the other way on a 4-0 run, trying to add to it. In the corner to Brown. She'll fire from three for the tie. Back iron, no. Rebound is knocked out of bounds and will stay with the Titans. Tasia Butler subbing in for Sand Springs for the first time. She'll replace Simone, who got hit in the mouth, it looked like a little bit there. She's okay.
We've had a lot of contact that have not been called right now. Not complaining.
Not at all. Just one foul in the first 4.5 minutes. Brown swing pass to Curry. Curry spinning on her defender Wilson, tough to the rim, and she's fouled.
Yeah, this is good news for Carl Albert. Their guards look a lot more comfortable going to the basket. They got off to a really slow start. Really, both games that they played, they got off to a really bad start against Bishop McGuinness in the first round, down by 19 at one point, and it's just because of a lack of offense. And then against Westmore, at least their defense was keeping them in it before they started to pull away in that game yesterday. But the offense was not there for much of that game, and we weren't seeing a strong performance from Essence Curry. She looks a lot better so far offensively.
Makes the first one at the line here, does Curry. She's got them both, so the Titans match Sand Springs' 9-0 run with a 6-0 run of their own, and it's back down to a 1-point game, 9-8 in favor of the road team wearing the home whites. Wilson to the rim is blocked from behind by Brown.
What a
defense
block
there, yeah. So far, we're only 5 minutes in, but Kari Wilson's been kept in check so far. Still very early. Brown with the ball here, and she's bumped and fouled. That's going to be a big call on Wilson. Second team foul, and it is the second personal on Wilson. That's a big call, obviously, as you get a very key player for the Sandites in some early foul trouble.
Wilson, Morris, they're going to pressure you. They're going to try to make as much or go for the ball as much as they can when you have the ball. They're going to hip check you if they can get away with it. That's an important call there, the fact they called the foul on Wilson.
Here's Moore on the wing, guarded by Bump, gets underneath to Plunkett. Plunkett, turnaround shot, takes some contact, and one. What a roll. The home rim being kind to the home team. Titans on an 8-0 run, and Plunkett can go for the three-point play here at the line.
So that's Tiana Butler, her and Plunkett. You know, Plunkett's a year older, but those two have similar builds, similar athleticism, and that's a case where Plunkett just made a really good shot. And, you know, Butler, she wants to go for the block there. Probably is a bit too aggressive on the foul. And Carl Albert, their offense looks so much better. This is the best I've seen them start a game in a while.
9-0 run, matching the 9-0 run by Sand Springs as she completes the three-point play. Wilson has to come out. And now an unforced error and a turnover here by Sand Springs. So where does the Sandites offense kind of go with Wilson out? Because she was kind of doing it all yesterday in the win over Edmond Memorial. Now she's on the bench with those two fouls.
I would say Hope Bump, except Hope made a good move against Plunkett early in the game, but Plunkett has stopped her a couple times since, so I don't know if that's a great matchup for Sand Springs or not. Time will tell.
Plunkett crossover move, trying to get some room off Bump. Gets over to Mitchell. Mitchell at the free throw line. Handoff, jumper from the elbow. Got it. Boy, Carl Albert's just hitting shots right now.
So different than, I mean, like even the first game we had of Carl Albert this year against Elgin, they were not scoring much at all at the beginning of the game. Plunkett has made some amazing shots so far.
Tasia Butler hits one herself. That breaks up an 11-0 run for the Titans. Cuts the deficit back down to 2.
Now 3 field goals made for Plunkett. All 3 of them high degree of difficulty. Not that high, but relatively high.
Moore at the free throw line. Guarded by Bump, feeds off to Plunkett. Nice little two-man game there, and a whistle and another foul on the Sandites. That's going to be the fourth one on Sand Springs. So put Carl Albert in the bonus for the final 91 seconds, and Plunkett's going back to the line here, looking to add on to the Titans' narrow lead.
I wasn't sure what we were going to see from Audrey just because she's going up against a player of similar size and athleticism in Tiana Butler. But Butler, again, is a freshman, and Plunkett is kind of taking advantage of that right now with some of what she's doing. She's actually the more experienced player.
Missed the first free throw, second one on the way for the sophomore Audrey Plunkett, and an 0 for 2 trip there, uncharacteristic, missed it both. So Sandites get it back, still down just 2. As Morris will bring it down the floor for Sand Springs. Guarded by Curry. Off a screen set by Butler. Curry falls to the ground. Morris to the rim, and she's blocked by Plunkett. Butler there for the cleanup. Kick out to Tasia Butler for 3. No. Rebound, Skyform. Ripped down, though, again by Morris, who's blocked again by Plunkett. It'll stay at this end.
Audrey is everywhere right now, and that block, the first one, she had 2 this trip. They still don't have a stop yet, though, but the first one, unbelievably impressive because that was a chase down block, basically.
Right off the inbound, little floater push shot there for Morris, and she hits it. And we're tied back up 13 apiece. Final minute, and a bad turnover here off the inbound. Butler's got it from the free throw line. Back iron, no. And the Titans dodge a bullet there. Mitchell the rebound. And have it going back to the way in a tie game. Curry now with it. Racing ahead. She'll have to slow up. Takes a double team. Pass over to Mitchell. Contact and a foul. That's going to be free throws for Evie Mitchell, as Simone a little over-aggressive. That'll send the Titans to the line as they get into the bonus.
No question, the way they've called this game has been an advantage for Carl Albert because Carl Albert hasn't been that physical around the perimeter, and Sand Springs has, and that's why Sand Springs has 5 team fouls right now. And Carl Albert making a lot of subs here, so important that they just hang on within this final 38 seconds. A lot of subs.
A lot of subs. Only the shooter stayed as Mitchell. First one is good to put the Titans back in the lead. Into the game, we got number 3, Hayden Harrell, who's a freshman. I don't think we've seen her all week. Number 33 is Shelby Rushi, senior. Laney Moore, number 44, is a senior. And then to finish up, number 21, Malia Hatchett, also a freshman, into the game.
And her dad is here watching.
Del City head coach Lenny Hatchett, of course. Yep. Defending state champions. 14-13 lead after the split trip, and Simone is hit and fouled. So free throws now coming for the Sandites on the other side, and Simone can put Sand Springs back in the lead if she can knock these down. The foul charge to Harrell.
And Coach Ritchie is going to make some sub backs because if these free throws go in, Sand Springs will press, and you don't want to start giving up a big run with only 27 seconds to go because you have inexperienced players handling the press. So we'll see the backcourt, starting backcourt plus Asha Moore back in.
First free throw good to tie it up. Second one on the way for Simone is going to roll home. Friendly bounce there. So Sand Springs back ahead by 1. Asha Moore with the basketball, trying to get across half court. She just does. And then she's double teamed, and she'll sneak a timeout in to save it. She's kind of that triangle of death over there, right on the half court.
I call it dead man's corner.
There you go.
That's an uncharacteristic mistake from Asha Moore. This is going to be a 30-second timeout. So she dribbles across the timeline and then picks up her dribble, and that's exactly what Sand Springs wanted her to do. And that can't happen very often because you want to save these timeouts.
So what do you think of the pace of this one here early? Obviously, first quarter winding down. We got 17 seconds. 15-14 Sand Springs. If you had to say the style favors a team, would you say there's a lean one way or another?
Probably favors Sand Springs a bit.
Yeah, I would think so too.
Again, the way it was officiated favored Carl Albert. And one thing they need to really help them out is they can draw a foul here in the final 17 seconds.
Yeah.
So just important, if I'm Coach Rich, I'm telling the guards, be strong with the ball. They're going to keep pressuring you because that's just what they do. And then Coach Rich will probably lobby for a foul called as soon as there's enough contact.
15 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Titans got to get across half court. They just barely do to Laney Moore. Nice feed to Rushi, who's swatted by Butler. Holy moly. Sandites got time. Pulling up shot at the buzzer. This would count, and it won't fall for Morris. That's going to end the first quarter. A very entertaining first 8 minutes to our championship game. So after one, it's Sand Springs 15, Carl Albert 14 in the championship game, the 2024 Titan Classic.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
All right, back here at the Titan Classic Championship game on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray on a Saturday afternoon. Carl Albert and Sand Springs. Very fun start to this one. The Sandites with a 15-14 lead. Titans have the basketball back, down by one as we open up the second frame. Plunkett, who had a fantastic first quarter, has the ball here to start. Guarded by Morris, trying to shake her. She'll get around her now to the right. Step back three ball for Plunkett. Front of the rim, no. Rebound loose, pulled in by Laney Moore. Buys him a second chance, but a bad pass here is intercepted. Turnover.
Laney just didn't look at where she was going.
Yeah.
You got to see the floor first.
Morris now feeds off to Simone, who's got room for an open three. Back iron, no. Long rebound comes out to Moore. Laney Moore got both of them on the floor right now. Jakari Brown has it. Right to the rim and finish. Give her enough room. She said, all right, I'll just take it myself. Titans back ahead by one.
The sophomores for Carl Albert who are playing, the two guards and Plunkett. That's Brown, Curry, and Plunkett, all three of them doing good things on offense in the half court.
Step back three for Morris. Clackham's Bobby Lewis Insurance three ball. And the shot making in this game so far from both teams has been really superb, and the Sandites are back ahead by two.
Brown went under the screen there. Probably a good idea, but that's just a case where Sand Springs made a good shot.
Yeah. Brown underneath to Plunkett on the block. Guarded by Butler. She'll back it out. Handoff, Brown on the wing. Goes to her left. And she'll dribble it out near the midcourt logo and kind of reset some things. Moore with it once again. Ball poked away by Bump, but some body contact.
That's no question that's a call. And I'm surprised sometimes Sand Springs takes some of the gambles they do with that, but that's just how they play.
Yeah.
And Bump, I think she's got in foul trouble before in this tournament. I don't remember if she did against Edmond Memorial, but she definitely did against Del City in the first round.
Yeah, it wasn't as much of an issue yesterday. Game did go to overtime.
It's only her first in this case.
Only the first, yeah. Underneath here is Aja Moore double teamed. Did a good job just to get out of it. To the top, Jakari Brown. And Brown will reset.
Brown's reluctant to shoot.
Yeah.
More so than what we've seen from her in the last couple games.
Aja Moore not reluctant to shoot. She'll fire, doesn't go. And we have whistles on the rebound. The foul's going to go on the Titans.
It's going to be on Laney Moore.
Yeah. Her first, team first in this second quarter. 6:10 to play until halftime. Make sure we get our second quarter sponsor in, which is Buffalo Wild Wings, 5500 Tinker Diagonal in Del City. Come to Buffalo Wild Wings and support your favorite Mid-Del winter sports team. Download the team card on your phone, show your waiter, your team will get 10% of the proceeds. Buffalo Wild Wings. Good pass there to Morris, who just boots the layup, but got her own miss. Putback attempt won't go either. Now it's on the floor, and Laney Moore ends up with it. Curry falls down, but does a good job to save the dribble. And Titans have it back. Jakari Brown going to take it to the lane, and it's blocked by Butler. Got a fingertip on it, but a bad pass stolen by Aja Moore. Feed to Plunkett for three. Back iron, no. And a foul on the Sandites again on the rebound. That one's going to go on Tiana Morris.
Ladies and guys, also number 3, Tiana Morris.
Yeah, Plunkett's cooled off. You expect it to happen, but she's missed a couple of jumpers. I'd be telling her, all right, go get back to the paint. Get back to the paint now.
So Titans still down by 2, but they have the basketball. Aja Moore with it. Almost lost it. Gets over to Curry. Curry will back it out now. Carl Albert's done this a few times. Kind of being patient with their possessions, which is more than fine. Pass deflect out of bounds will stay. This one almost hit Coach Barry there. Had to duck out of the way. Good reflexes.
Sand Springs is just going to make you really have to focus on any pass you make, whether it's a handoff or a pass in the paint.
5:10 and counting to play in this first half. 18-16 Sand Springs in our championship game, the Titan Classic. Aja Moore is hit. Thought there might be a whistle. It never came. And Sand Springs gets the turnover. Ahead to bump. Spin move on Moore. Wanted to travel, didn't get it. Kick out Tiana Butler for 3. Side of the rim, no good. Moore had the rebound for a moment and lost it. Ends up back with her after it got kicked around. The Titans have it back, still down by 2. Curry feeds off to Brown. She'll fire this time. I was going to say air ball. It did just graze the rim.
Some questions about who that's off of.
Yeah, the signal was Sand Springs. The Carl Albert faithful right behind the official there exploded immediately, saying that should have been Titan ball.
Going to talk it over. It's Carl Albert basketball.
Nice. So the turnover there. Good job talking about it. Got a really good crowd in here today, as you would expect for the championship game on a Saturday.
Both teams
matinee games, so it's been not empty in here, but not packed out. Good crowd today for the title game on a weekend.
Yeah, both teams have cooled off. Not a bad shot by Curry. Just both teams have cooled off. Just got to keep shooting, and at some point they'll start going back in.
Long 2 for Tasia Butler. She's got it. That's a nice jumper there. Long 2, and it gets it back out to a 2-score lead, 20-16.
I think Carl Albert needs Plunkett to really get inside. She's trying to right there.
Plunkett goes right down the lane, right on cue from what you were saying there, and she draws the foul.
So it's a little harder for Butler to block that shot, so she tries to. She tries to be just as aggressive as if it was a shorter, less athletic player, but had to make contact with Plunkett there. And now that's her second foul, and that's big, potentially. She's only a freshman, so you freshman with foul trouble, that's a hard recipe there.
She has to come out with the 2 fouls, so she's replaced by Patience Pierce, number 34, who played pretty key minutes in the win over Dell City on Thursday. Didn't see her at all, hardly, yesterday against Eben Memorial, but she's in there for some key moments now in this championship game. Is a senior, is Pierce. After the split chirps, a 3-point game. 3-ball for Butler won't go. There's Pierce, but had her shot blocked. I couldn't tell if it was Brown or Rushi. They were both in there.
Oh, Brown. Yeah, I think it was Brown.
Nevertheless, Carl Albert gets a stop. They have the ball back down 3.
Plunkett to try to take her off the dribble.
Yep, hand off to Curry. Curry to the rim. Right-hand shot, no. Comes off. It's pulled in by Butler, and a bad foul by Curry just ran into her.
Yeah. Butler, meaning Tajai Butler, backed up a little bit, and then backed up right into Curry. Only the first foul in essence.
Second team foul on the Titans. Sandites have got 3, so they got 1 more to give in the half. Titans have 2 more to give.
So it's, I think, Tasia Butler is her name.
Tasia Butler, yes. Simone guarded by Mitchell. Screen set by Pierce. Step back kick in the corner. This is young Cadence Young, just a freshman. He had the ball ripped away there by the much elder statesman in Rushi. Titans have it back, still down just 3. Curry puts it on the floor, goes to the rim. Nice finish there, banked it home, lead back down to 1. Good shot there by Curry.
Yeah, last time she drove right and did not use the backboard very well. This time she drives left and uses the backboard very well. Carl Albert right there. Even though Sand Springs is playing their game pretty much the way they want to.
Now we have a whistle and a foul here. Going to be charged on Brown. She was hoping for the reach around offensive foul, but it's going to be called on the Titans. Her first. Young out, back in for the Sandites comes Tiana Morris. Both teams with 3 fouls now, so 1 more to give for both in this second quarter. Simone shakes her defender. This is a long 2. Back iron, no. Rebound comes out to Morris. She'll go right to the rim. Can't roll it home. Rebound is loose and pulled in by Mitchell, so a missed chance there for the Sandites. Titans can get the lead back here with a bucket. Plunkett step back with a defender on the ground, and it won't go.
She's fallen too in love with that three-point shot.
Rushi just rips it away from Simone, and we're going to have a travel called.
Travel on who?
I don't know who
had the possession there. That was Sand Springs had the ball, so I don't. But it looks. Well, there's a Sand Springs player kind of banged up, so we're still sorting out.
I think the travel was called apparently on Carl Albert, as it looks like Butler's going to do the honors on the inbound here. So
I'm surprised they didn't call a jump ball. That's
tough
for Carl Albert because now Sand Springs still has the possession arrow.
Yeah, that was a weird play. So a very high-scoring first quarter, been a bit more of a slobber knocker, kind of rock fight second quarter as we get down to the final 2 minutes. Bad pass here, wide of the mark, goes off the hands of Bump. Looked like it was a little off target, and also she may not have been totally ready for it.
For Carl Albert, Plunkett's fallen too in love with that three-point shot. She should be attacking the basket. She gets the player to fall down, but she wants to dribble back and shoot a 3. No, get to the rim.
Brown over to Plunkett, crosses half court. Long pass to Moore in the corner for a 3. Front of the rim, no. It was a heck of a pass, but Moore couldn't finish it. Bump just out of sorts. Somehow ends up in the hands of Young, who takes a mid-range 2 and gets the roll. So a fortuitous bounce a couple of times there for Sand Springs. Ends up in a bucket. And now nearly a turnover, but it'll stay with the Titans as Bump couldn't quite save it.
Boy, they had more open for a while. They just waited a bit too long, or she could have had an easy layup. Good play by Bump to spoil that layup for Sand Springs.
Final 90 seconds of the first half. 22-19 Sand Springs in this championship game. Jakari Brown for 3. Clock comes. Bobby Lewis Insurance 3-ball, and we're all square, 22 apiece. That was a nice, pretty shot by Brown.
Yeah, her defender went under the screen, and so that's a good reaction there from Brown.
Bump with the ball, guarded by Moore, feeds it off to Butler. Entertaining first half. Young off the dribble. Had her dribble knocked loose from behind. It'll stay with the Sandites. Curry back in the game, replaces Mitchell.
So here's to see which non-regular starter for Carl Albert gets the most minutes. It's been a bit of Roche or Rushi. It's been a bit of Laney Moore. It's been a bit of Mitchell right now. Now it's Rushi.
Simone at the top. Guarded by Curry, feeds it off to Young. 45 seconds till halftime. Sand Springs could conceivably hold for the final shot here if they want. It's a lot of time to kind of drain off. Looks like they're going to go ahead and fire. I think this is a 2. Didn't go. And now a rebounding foul going to go on Young. And that was their last to give. So not free throws for the Titans just yet. Next one would be in this final 35 seconds.
So Sand Springs is going to press here. Good sub for Coach Ritchie to get Evie Mitchell in, because she's their best guard amongst the non-regular starters.
Final half minute of the first half. Jakari Brown trapped on the sideline here. Pass to Plunkett. That was a nice catch. Plunkett gets off her defender. Pull up from the free throw line. No. Aja Moore the rebound, though. Second chance for the Titans. Curry for 3. Side of the rim, no. Rebound tipped by Plunkett. Ends up with Moore, who's stripped. Sandites have it back with 10 seconds. Morris. Bad pass intercepted by Mitchell. Titans got time ahead to Jakari Brown, who goes to the rim and puts Carl Albert in the lead right at the halftime buzzer. So a wild sequence there to end the first half, and after all that mayhem, the Titans will take a 2-point lead into the locker room.
Yeah, that's how Carl Albert gets a lot of their points, is you get possession and they just stick with you. Sand Springs does a lot of that too. And that is that you give up a defensive rebound. Instead of just getting back, you try to find an opportunity to extend your defense. Carl Albert did it very well right there. They got a layup at the end. And they have to be pretty happy where they're at. Because when I talk about non-regular starters, Skylar Anderson is worth mentioning. That's a big loss for Carl Albert. She'll be out for a little bit. She will probably not play. They're not expecting her to play in the huge game Tuesday against El Reno. And so they got their 4 regulars. That's Asha Moore, Plunkett, Curry, and Jakari Brown. And who else will step in as that 5th player that Coach Ritchie can rely on?
Yeah.
It's not totally clear who that is, but Evie Mitchell finished the half very well for him as that 5th player.
So a back-and-forth first half results in the Titans taking a 2-point lead into the locker room. We'll step aside for a few minutes here. We'll rejoin you shortly for the second half of this championship game. Been an entertaining start to it. We hope for a great finish. Carl Albert leads it 24-22 at the break in this championship game, the 2024 Titan Classic on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
All right, back at the Titan Classic, wrapping up our coverage here on OSN. It's been an awesome week. We're hoping for a great finish as we get back to the second half. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray on the Oklahoma Sports Network in this championship game. Carl Albert leads Sand Springs 24-22 as we return to action. Sand Springs with the basketball.
And Carl Albert starts out with the 1-3-1 with Audrey Plunkett at the top of the 1-3-1 defense, and you can see why right there, because she can use her length and her quickness to get deflections like that.
Sand Springs will keep it. Trailing by 2. Morris with the ball here for Sandites, gets to Butler. Bounce pass. Boy, Asha Moore just came in and blew that thing up. Diving after it. Look at the hustle. Can't come up with it. And then a bad pass and a turnover.
You know, it's amazing how Carl Albert can speed you up. They can make not a mistake on defense, but they can miss on a steal that leads to a scoring opportunity. But the other team, in this case Sand Springs, gets a little too lively and just throws a bad pass.
I was going to say, you think Asha Moore wants to win this game? Win this tournament, flying around here to start the second half. Mitchell for 3, Clackums. Bobby Lewis Insurance three-pointer for Evie Mitchell. And the Titans have got their biggest lead of the day so far at 5, 27-22.
Got handed to Coach Ritchie. He's saving this defense for this moment right now.
Kari Wilson's been quiet so far. That one won't fall. Holt bump the rebound. Put back is good. Good defense by Aja Moore, just straight up, but bump a nice tough finish.
Now when she has the ball around the basket, she's just a bull.
Yeah, tough to stop. Back to the way here with Carl Albert. Moore's got it, turnaround shot. That won't roll home. Wilson skies through the board. Had to sit a lot of that first half with foul trouble, but back in there now. Sandites weathered the storm without her.
Yeah, Butler's also back.
Yeah, you're right. Also with 2 fouls. Good to point out. Step back 3 for Morris Clackums. Bobby Lewis 3-ball, and just like that, that 5-point lead evaporated. We're tied up 27 each.
One negative about that zone, you can get some openings from three-point range. But, you know, whoever's playing there for Carlbert, you got to get to Wilson.
Plunkett pass in the corner to Mitchell. She'll fire from 3. That won't go. Rebound pulled in by Morris, and just like that, the Sandites have a chance to take the lead. Morris going to go all the way to the rim with it. Curry broke that up. Out of bounds, last touch by the Sandites. Good defense.
Yeah, you get your hands on the ball. You don't, and that's a great play by Curry. You don't have to get in the way there because you got Plunkett also protecting the rim there with her length. So that's when you can go and try to reach in and knock the ball away. So that's just a really smart play by Essence Curry.
Plunkett has it just past half court. Pass to Curry, who's cutting to the rim. High off the glass finish and the contact with the foul. Chance for the three-point play for Essence Curry, who's had a few nice moments in this game.
And that's 3 on Butler.
Big foul, yeah, you're right. 3rd on Tiana Butler. She's going to have to come out.
Huge sequence because, again, so important for Carl Albert's guards to finish around the paint. And Curry did that and drew a foul on a very important player for Sand Springs and Tiana Butler.
So complete the three-point play for Curry. Butler has to come out with the 3rd foul. Bump will replace her. Titans back ahead by 3 at 30-27.
With Butler or you're hearing Richie say, score, stop, score. think it's very important for whoever Plunkett, or when Plunkett has the ball, she needs to be aggressive. She's going to be guarded by a player that she can take to the basket.
Here's Bump in the lane, turnaround shot. Will roll home, and boy, like you were saying, just so tough to stop down near the rim. Another tough finish there for Bump, cuts it back down to 1.
She just goes up so strong.
Yeah. Curry has it, lost it for a moment, but gets it back, being hounded by Kari Wilson. Handoff Brown at the elbow. Mitchell. Nice ball movement here. Curry to the rim, can't finish it. Rebound pulled in by Bump. Sandites can take the lead with a bucket. And a reach-in foul's going to be called, I think, on Plunkett. And it is on Plunkett. That's her second. So not an issue yet. One more, and it kind of would be.
Yeah, Carl Albert's back to a man defense. And looks like Plunkett is on Bump. I think I like that matchup a little better. It's a little harder to shoot over Plunkett than Asha Moore.
Wilson guarded by Curry. Takes it around at her. Mitchell comes to help. Try to get it back out to Bump. Not a bad idea, but the pass was wide of the mark, and that's a turnover.
It's good time to trap there for Carl Albert. And one reason why that was good is there's a tough angle to find an open teammate there for Sand Springs.
So Titans get it back up by 1. 4:40 to play in the third quarter of this championship game. Been a good one. Plunkett pulls up just in front of the free throw line, and she's got it. Been a really nice performance today for Plunkett.
Yep, she made the shot. I'd still like to see her go all the way to the basket, but she made the shot there. That's the important thing for that trip.
Wilson with the basketball, guarded by Curry. See if Sand Springs can get her going. She was so massive in the win over Edmond Memorial yesterday. Morris has it. She'll pull up. Can't get the shot to fall. Rebound pulled in by Curry, and the Titans started back the other direction. Being hounded there. A lot of contact. She went sliding like a baseball player taking second there.
Well, what Curry did well, I don't know if she could feel the defenders coming from behind, but she kept going full speed to that spot, and so they could never catch up with her. Morris could not catch up to her, and so instead fouled her.
Pass over the head of Curry. She's able to run down and save that before it went out of bounds. And now going to be a whistle and a foul on the Sandites.
Boy, I thought a 5 count might have been about to be called.
Yeah, it was getting close.
But that, again, that's big for Carl Albert that they are calling fouls like that. Because Sand Springs is much more physical on the perimeter than Carl Albert is in a half-court set.
It's the third team foul on the Sandites, by the way, so they only have one more to give the rest of the way in this third quarter. Moore at the elbow. Oh, my. Step back shot. Got it. Titans back ahead by 5.
Well, she hadn't had the three-point shot going this game, so she takes a few feet, or she steps in a few feet, and yes, had a very good rhythm on that shot.
That was pretty. Sand Springs now suddenly back behind a little bit here by the 5 points. Where do they go for offense? Wilson went down the lane and just lost it. Plunkett ends up with it in her lap. Start the break for the Titans. They don't have the number. It's 2 on 4. They'll have to slow it up. Moore underneath looking for Plunkett. Pass deflected by Bump. It'll go out of bounds. They're going to say last touch by Plunkett.
That was really good help. I believe that was Simone who went down there. No, not Simone. Maybe Morris, actually. That forced that turnover. Look for a second to Asha Moore. That Plunkett was wide open on the basket, and Sand Springs closed that pretty quickly.
So head coach Joshua Berry is going to roll the dice here and put Tiana Butler back in this game with 3 fouls, kind of sensing that, hey, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Deep 3 for Morris won't go. Rebounds pulled in by Brown. Titans have it back, still up by 5. Kick out, open 3 for Mitchell. Side of the rim, no. Rebound ripped down by Bump, but she had to give it up before she fell. And right Johnny on the spot was Plunkett, who laid it in easily.
Oh, Bump is hurt.
Bump is down. Looked like she hit her the back of her head on the court pretty hard there on that fall. And the lead goes up to 7, which is the biggest it's been today. Thankfully, Bump on her feet quickly. Looks like she's okay.
Yep. But the fact that she was hurt for a little bit gives Carl Albert a free timeout. And I think they're still stopping play. because, well, no, I thought they might want to clean that spot up if there was any sweat, but no, they're just making a sub for Carl Albert there.
And Bump also comes out.
Yeah, she has to come out, I guess, if you stop play.
So Sand Springs in the biggest hole they've been in at any point today. 36-29. Need offense. Simone with it, guarded by Brown, trying to shake her. Not a lot of room there. Now Wilson with it once more, guarded by Curry. Passing the side to Simone. Gives it up to Tiana Butler, working on Rushi. Kick out, open three for Tasia Butler, won't go. Rebound ends up back with Tiana Butler, puts it home. And boy, does Sand Springs need that bucket.
That's one thing that's helped them out. They've gotten some offensive rebounds this quarter. Otherwise, they've struggled on offense as Sand Springs. Very surprising to see.
Make sure we get it in as the third quarter sort of dwindle on us here. Rose State College is our third quarter sponsor up there in the corner. As turnaround shot for Plunkett won't go. Rebound ripped down. We're going to have a tie-up. Rose State College, saving money on college is easy at Rose State. Concurrent enrollment allows students to earn up to 27 tuition-free hours of college credit while still in high school. Apply today at rose.edu/concurrent. The arrow favors the Titans, so it'll stay down here.
Plunkett should use the backboard on that shot.
Rushi trying to find somewhere to go that eventually gets into Curry. Simone almost stole it. Curry gets it back, goes right down the lane. Floater, no good. Got her on miss. Put back, no. Now Aja Moore's got it. Up and under move is blocked, but she's fouled.
I think she went up shooting kind of from behind her, but that's what she wanted is a foul. I don't know if she even went up to score. She wanted to get fouled.
And that foul is on Butler, which is her fourth.
Unbelievable.
So Coach Barry rolls the dice a little bit, takes a chance, puts Tiana Butler back in the game with 3 fouls, and it bites him here. Got that big bucket, which is why you like her having her in, but then the defensive miscue there, and that's going to be her fourth. She'll have to come out and Hope Bump back in, which is good to see.
We're seeing another sub for Carl, but they're bringing in Harrell again.
The freshman Hayden Harrell back in. Yeah, you saw her just real briefly at the end of the first quarter.
Well, don't be surprised if Sand Springs doesn't go at her on defense. I mean, look who she's guarding.
Guarding Kari Wilson.
Yeah, she's going to get help.
Matchup.
There's got to be a good communication there.
Lead back to 7. Here's Wilson going to the right. Has just not been able to get it going in this game, but there's still time. She can heat up really quickly. Here's Bump on the block. Turnaround shot up, won't go. That was really well contested. And now a whistle and a foul on the Sandites, and that's going to put the Titans into the bonus. So we're going to have free throws coming at the other end for somebody.
Coach Ritchie rolls the dice, and he survived on that possession. And that's because there was good team defense. And Harrell did her job, so we got to give her credit. But again, when you have a freshman who doesn't play a whole lot, they're going to be a target. Doesn't matter how tall they are. They're going to be a target on defense. And on offense when they catch it, too. They'll be like, okay, there's a freshman with the ball. Let's pressure her.
That was also the third foul on Wilson now, too. So some major foul trouble for the Sandites right now, as the first free throw is good for Jakari Brown.
And a big story for this game. Kari Wilson has not gone off yet like she did against the Bulldogs yesterday.
Right. So make them both. The Titans have opened up a 9-point lead, and Coach Barry wants to take a timeout and try to settle things down and get a rally put together here for the end of the quarter to try and trim down this deficit. 9-point lead for the Titans in the championship game, the Titan Classic.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
All right, back at the Titan Classic. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Been a great week of action. We're going out on a high note here with the championship game. Carl Albert's opened up a 9-point lead, 40-31, but still plenty of time for Sand Springs to try and get back in this. Start now. Final minute of the quarter. Sandites with the basketball. This is Tayana Morris. Right side, Hope Bump's going to fire from three. Clackums. That's a big shot for Sand Springs to trim it down to 6 on the Bobby Lewis 3-ball.
And now Carl Albert will call a 30-second timeout. I think this is like a late third quarter offense for defense sub here. Look like Carl Albert's going to bring in their sophomore starters.
Feels like both teams and coaches are kind of almost treating this like it's a state championship game. Like taking a timeout just to, like you said, offense for defense, the end of the quarter. You can tell both teams want this one.
No doubt. I mean, Carl Albert definitely does. Sand Springs, I think, with getting a big win against Memorial, they don't want to be satisfied. Plus, they're making by far the longest trip of any team here. And, of course, for Carl Albert, that's the exact opposite because they're the home team. It's their gym. But interesting subs. He didn't. Coach Ritchie, when they saw that Sand Springs was going to continue to full court press, he did not want his freshman guards in.
So the lead down to 6 off that big 3 from Bump. Titans get it back, up by 6. Pass deflected, and who else? Hope Bump again breaking that up. It'll go out of bounds zone, stay with the Titans as they try to get it down to Laney Moore underneath the basket.
She's done that a couple times, this Hope Bump. I mean, you want to find a player on the back end underneath the basket, you got to find her quickly or else she's going to get a hand on that ball. She's like the free safety for their full court press, this Hope Bump, and she does a good job of it.
Plunkett with it on the wing. Long pass to Mitchell. Feed off to Curry. Final half minute of the third. Curry going to the left. Try to get underneath to Moore, and Wilson blew it up. Start the break for the Sandites. Corey Wilson all the way to the rim, and she's fouled. With 17.4 seconds to go in the third quarter, Corey Wilson will go to the line and shoot 2.
I was about to say Carl Albert should wait for the last shot there, or hold for the last shot if they can. They decided to go ahead and attack, and it backfired on them. And one of the reasons it backfired is that's the third foul on Plunkett.
Yeah, good note there. 3 on Plunkett. You're going to the fourth quarter, so that's not mega dire, but it's not great. It's not preferred.
No.
As Wilson hits them both, the lead's down to 4. So this was a 9-point game just about 45 seconds ago. A nice finish to the quarter, which is why Coach Barrett took that timeout. We'll see if the Titans can build it out a little bit more here before the end. They got 10 seconds to do it. Brown with Tasia Butler guarding her. 5 seconds, screen set by Laney Moore. Spin move, going to have to get this up. Brown shot at the buzzer here. Side of the rim, no good. Good defense by Sand Springs. And circle that little 5-0 run to end the quarter. We're going to the fourth in the championship game of the Titan Classic. It's the Titans 40, the Sandites 36 on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Red Plains Plumbing has been offering reliable commercial and residential services to the OKC metro area for over a decade. From new construction and remodeling to residential repair, they can handle jobs of all sizes. When you need a trusted name in plumbing, it's Red Plains Plumbing. Family owned and operated. Phone 405-769-1922. That's 405-769-1922.
All right, back to the Titan Classic on the Oklahoma Sports Network. The championship game, Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray. All right, Jordan, we're on to the fourth quarter. It's 40-36. Carl Albert, what's the key here in the final 8 minutes?
Well, see who's down the floor for Sand Springs, and if they still don't have Tiana Butler out, which they do not, I think, finding spots for Audrey Plunkett to attack would be the best offense for Carl Albert. Don't know if they'll do it. And how will the fouls be called this final quarter, too? Very important, because that's been an advantage for Carl Albert as well.
So here we go in the final quarter of the Titan Classic. Carl Albert trying to win their home tournament. Sand Spring trying to come in from T-Town and bring it down on their side. And there is Kari Wilson, who's been held in check today with a nice bucket there to cut it down to 2. It's a 7-0 run for the Sandites. Brown just gets it across half court to beat that 10-second call. It was getting close. Curry, meanwhile, loses it. It's scooped up by Simone. Somehow they saved the possession, and Wilson's got it. Sand Springs to the rim. Wilson hit and fouled, and she will go to the line to shoot 2 to potentially tie this game with 7:22 to go.
You know, I don't think Sand Springs is doing too much different on defense, but that's just a bad turnover on Curry's part. Uncharacteristic of her, actually.
So Wilson shoots 2, the first one up and good. And boy, the Titans, they push it out to 40-31 late in that third quarter. Felt like they were kind of creating some distance and almost running away. Sand Springs has responded. A 9-0 run right back, and we are tied with 7:22 to go. And now a bad turnover off the inbound, just went off the hands of Brown. Simone feeds it to Morris, and she's fouled. And Tayana Morris can put Sand Springs in the lead at the line.
Again, I don't think Sand Springs is doing anything that different. But, you know, if you keep pressuring over time, it's, you know, at some point you hope, and it's happening for Carl Albert, that they just start to wilt.
Free throw good. It's a 10-0 run. Can make it 11 at the line here. Fourth quarter sponsor is Dynamic Health Clinic, where Dr. Kaufman specializes in athletic injuries and is able to get athletes back in action very quickly using a system called Advanced Muscle Integration. Play better, recover faster at Dynamic Health Clinic. Now we have a tie-up on the inbound, and the arrow will keep it with the Titans. But, boy, everything is hard right now for Carl Albert.
I may be mistaken when I say Sand Springs isn't doing anything different. They are extending their press a little bit more than what they have been. And, you know, you knew it was coming.
So 7:11 left. It's an 11-0 run for Sand Springs. This game is completely flipped. But there's still plenty of more time for some more twists and turns before we finish out on this Titan Classic. Curry with the basketball, guarded by Morse. Gives it up to Jakari Brown. 42-40, Sand Springs in the championship game. Mitchell on the left side takes it out to the top. Bounce pass for Aja Moore. Bump almost got the steal. Now a bad pass here, wide of the mark. Brown almost saved it. Well, she did, but she threw it back to Hope Bump, who's going to have an easy fast break layup. It's a 13-0 run for the Sandites, who now lead by 4. And Coach Ritchie wants a timeout to talk about things. Full timeout. We'll go ahead and take it to 6:29 to go in the title game. Sand Springs leads by 4 on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
All right, back to the Titan Classic on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray. 6:29 to go in our championship game. How quickly things can change. A 13-0 run for the Sandites has them in front by 4 points here on the road. And now another tie-up, and that's going to be a turnover as the arrow favors Sand Springs.
Curry's got to get that ball out of there quicker. And she looked like Brown was an option.
Just an avalanche turnaround. And this is basketball. It can happen so quick. Sand Springs up by 4, driving Simone. Tough shot through some contact, didn't get it to go. Moore rips down the board, and now we're going to have a whistle and a foul on Sand Springs. It'll go on Tasia Butler. It's only her second. Team first. So Carl Albert has it back, still down 4, and they just are having the hardest time to get this thing up the floor. And now Curry has to take a timeout, and the Titans only got 1 left after burning that one with 6:13 to play.
It's just not a good spot to catch the ball. That's part of the problem.
It's another full timeout, so we'll go ahead and take it too. 6:13 left, still a 4-point lead for the Sandites on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Start a car mechanic shop.
Let's say we go to Scissor Tip.
Ready to go get some coffee?
Yeah, let's go.
You got it.
I think she was from
1,
Rose State.
2, 3.
Congratulations, Rose State college graduates.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
All right, back at the Titan Classic. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We're glad you could be with us on a Saturday afternoon. This phenomenal event and this great championship game is living up to the hype. 44-40, Sand Springs leads it. Carl Albert has the basketball. And a travel called, and the Titans have this entire game is being played underneath this basket right now as another turnover.
Look where Jakari Brown caught it. And they're not able to find anyone open when they trap there.
Inbound pass from Wilson goes right to Morris, who feeds it in. It's a 15-0 run, and the Sandites have their biggest lead of the day at 6, 46-40. Plunkett back to the direction, hands off to Aja Moore. Titans need a bucket in the worst way. Jakari Brown at the elbow, feeds off to Plunkett, open look at a 3, side of the rim, no good. Rebound pulled in by Simone. Spin move around the defender, that was nice. Long pass ahead to Wilson, goes across the lane, feeds off, open 3 for Hope, bump, halfway down and out. Boy, that would have brought the roof down on this end. And a bad turnover here as the pass ahead is picked off by Wilson. Sandites have it back, and a foul called on Mitchell. That'll be the team's third with 5:30 to play.
So this is one of the first times we've seen Sand Springs with a foul advantage, and it just shows when you can pressure like that and force mistakes, it leads to other mistakes. It wasn't so much the press that made Plunkett throw that pass, but she just was trying for too much. Right now Carl Albert wants a 6-point play, and they can't get one, and they're being impatient on offense now.
So Sand Springs has got it back, still leading by 6. Carl Albert has just one more foul to give the rest of the way here. Boy, what a rejection in the lane there by Brown, swatting Simone. And the Titans start the break. Jakari Brown, transition 3, clackums! A huge Bobby Lewis Insurance three-pointer. Cuts it down to a 3-point game. We have a stoppage here as they are going to try and get Simone out after she took that hard fall.
Yeah, she was down on the floor for a bit. I hope she's okay, but she is limping. And so they're going to go with more size, but also Tiana Butler has 4 fouls. So that is a huge 3 by Brown. They needed that badly.
Big time. Final 5 minutes in the Titan Classic. The 3-point lead for Sand Springs, 46-43. Hope bump in the corner, guarded by Moore. Feeds it off with the left to Butler, who's playing with those 4 fouls. On the elbow, kick out to Wilson. Wilson working on her defender, Curry. Takes it right at her. Tough finish at the rim! That's what we saw Kari Wilson do so much in that game against Edmond Memorial yesterday. Not as much today, but we're at the money time now. And that's a big shot right there to squish that little bit of momentum the Titans had.
Yeah, and you see her coming, but Rushi's got to help out a little sooner. Easier said than done.
Sure.
Wilson's just so crafty around the basket.
So she completes the 3-point play. The lead goes right back out to 6. Curry now again trapped. Long pass ahead. Plunkett just got behind the defense. Plunkett all the way to the rim, and she'll lay it in. That was a great pass. Nobody was with Audrey Plunkett in the backcourt.
That's probably been there for a while, but the Carl Albert guards just can't see him because of the way the pressure's going.
Bump in the corner, feeds over to Butler at the top. Tiana Butler, kick out to Wilson, who's starting to heat up in this fourth quarter. Now she'll back it out and reset the offense. Guarded by Plunkett, who's been really dynamite today for the Titans. Feeds it off to Morris in the corner. She'll go down the baseline. Morris high, shot won't go. Got her own miss. It's loose, ends up in the hands of Brown. Titans get the stop they need as we cross the midway point of the fourth quarter. Plunkett brings it down. Handoff, Curry from way deep. Too much on it. Rebound is on the floor. Aja Moore's got it. Up and under move doesn't fall, but she is fouled. And Aja Moore will shoot some free throws.
Is that on Butler? It is on Butler.
You are correct. Tiana Butler gets dinged. Foul trouble has been a major issue for her in this game. And she gets her fifth, and that'll be it for one of Sand Springs' very key players. And
Simone will come back in, but she can't be 100%. You wouldn't think. Maybe she is feeling a lot better. She just maybe banged her knee.
It's a much smaller lineup, trading Butler for Simone.
Well, it didn't matter at the beginning of this quarter because Carl Albert couldn't get anything past the timeline.
Yeah.
If they can do that, then yes, Butler being out will start to matter. Will definitely matter on the defensive glass for Sand Springs.
Both free throws are good. Cut it down to 2. Because, you have Hope Bump who can help you with Moore or Plunkett, but not both.
Right.
So we'll see how the Sandites try to counteract that as it leads back down to 2, 3:34 to go. Simone in the corner, spin move on Brown. Boy, she got some nice handles. Turnaround shot won't go. Rebound, though, Hope Bump. And she gets tied up with Curry, and it's going to be a foul on the Titans. They were certainly hoping for a tie-up, but it's going to be a foul, and that's huge. Well, they're talking about it. Now they change it to a tie-up. That's a massive call. That would have been the 5th foul on the Titans, so that would have been free throws. Instead, it's Carl Albert's ball. I mean, what a huge swing that is.
Call me a homer as a mid-deal announcer, but I didn't see why they would call a foul on Curry.
It seemed like a tie-up to me, too.
Whoa.
Long pass ahead, deflected by Wilson, and she's got it, forced the turnover. Tried to get it out to Curry, but instead it's a turnover. Wilson on the wing, fires it to Simone. Spin move, open look for Corey Wilson. Back iron, no. Boy, that would have been a gut punch if that had gone. And now Moore is hit, and she's fouled. That's only the 3rd on Sand Springs, so they still have a little bit of cushion here. 3rd personal on Simone. 3:03 left.
You have to hope for that foul for Carl Albert. I mean, because whether you get a score or a stop, either way for Carl Albert, or they give up a score, they got to face that.
Bad pass intercepted by Wilson, who goes to the rim and finishes with the foul again.
They just can't find an open player. You get trapped. There's supposed to be an open teammate, and this Titan defense cannot see it. There's no 5A team like this, and that's one of the reasons why Carl Albert's is not used to seeing this type of pressure.
Wilson completes the three-point play for the 2nd time in this quarter. And the lead goes back to 5 now. Moore is trapped again. That's another tie-up, and the arrow favors Sand Springs again.
So, I mean, who was open there? Curry was open, but Moore couldn't see her because it's just not great spacing for the Titans at the moment.
Yeah, the Titans have just every single inbound is getting trapped on the baseline. Into Tasia Butler, 2:52 to go. Titans still certainly plenty of time, but Sand Springs is just making life really difficult right now. Wilson has the basketball. She's guarded by Curry. Going to milk that clock a little bit. You want to work it down and end it with points. Wilson. Oh, that was overhanding the ball. Got away with it. Entire Carl Albert faithful saw it, including Coach Ritchie and the Titan bench. Got away with one there. Wilson taking contact. She's just dribbling around everywhere, and eventually she's fouled.
Yeah, I mean, you got to try to force a 5 count if you're Carl Albert, but Wilson keeps dribbling away from whoever's guarding her very effectively. It's 4th on Audrey Plunkett. That's a big end of the 3rd quarter, by the way, that got Plunkett that 4th foul.
Mm-hmm.
And
so, yeah,
Carl
she
probably
has
should have
4.
the last shot, and they didn't, and it led to a foul for Plunkett.
She has 4, which is highly noteworthy, obviously, like you're pointing out. And Wilson shoots 2, and she's got the first one. So the lead's up to 6. Sand Springs is close. But still some meat on the bone and work to be done here. Boy, Wilson has been very good at the line. Very clutch free throws in this fourth quarter. And the lead is as big as it's been all day at 7. 54-47. Can the Titans respond offensively? Curry loses it. It'll be rained down and saved by Moore right at the half-court line, and they're going to call over and back as her arm just went right on that timeline. That's a turnover.
That's just an uncharacteristic turnover on Essence Curry. And those type of turnovers, you add them to the turnovers that Sand Springs forces, it's just too much to overcome.
Stick with us after the game. We'll have the championship trophy presentation, and Jordan Ray is going to get down there and talk to the winning coach as well on our broadcast. So stick with us for that after the ball game finishes. Turnover here. A break for the Titans. It wasn't a bad idea as Bump kind of slipped through and had some space there, but Wilson just kind of missed her.
Probably was a bad idea, though. They should have kept the dribble around the perimeter.
Titans have it back. Final 2 minutes. 7-point game. Plunked it in the corner to Aja Moore. Where do the Titans go for points? Moore, bounce pass to Rushi back in the game. Hand off to Jakari Brown. Possession's taking a lot of time. Brown feeds off the Plunkett, little mid-range 2, airballed it long. Wasn't a bad look, but
no, she should have powered away to the basket, though.
Yeah, there was room.
She pulls up for those jumpers at times she doesn't need to.
Sandites have it back. Final minute 20, and Hope Bumps all alone. It goes right to the rim and puts it in. Sand Springs leads it by 9. And that one feels large. Don't want to say dagger, but feels tough to overcome now. Down 9. Need a ferocious rally in the final minute. Aja Moore for 3. That'll help. Clackham's Bobby Lewis 3-ball for Aja Moore. Cuts it back down to 6. All right, I take that back. They're calling that a 2. They're saying her toe was on the line, so it's only a 2. Lee stays at 7.
They need to go get the ball. They need to trap her. They need to try and trap Wilson.
Got to do something. And Moore will foul Wilson and put her at the line with 38.5 seconds to go. It's only the first foul on Aja Moore. How do you go through an entire high school basketball game without committing a foul? It's kind of amazing.
Well, when you're a senior who's been playing starter minutes since you're a sophomore at least, that explains a lot of it right there.
Wilson hits the first one. Lee goes back out to 8. And like we've kind of talked about before in these situations, if you're Carl Albert, you're pretty much at the mercy now of Sand Springs missing some free throws, either that or a bunch of turnovers. And Wilson's not who you want to put there. She has been cold as a cucumber at the free throw line.
Probably want to trap her.
Lee goes back out to 9. Final half minute. Curry down the lane and falls down. It goes out of bounds, or say it goes off at Curry.
It's been a tough quarter for Essence Curry and Audrey Plunkett. They were playing amongst the best for Carl Albert.
Titans were very, very close and had a lead. They led by 9. Just amazing the turnaround. Since it was 40-31, 27-9 in favor of Sand Springs. Since the Titans took that 9-point lead at the end of nearing the end of the third quarter. Really amazing how quickly this thing shifted, and it's just never really shifted back.
And it doesn't get any easier for Carl Albert. Their next game will be on this floor Tuesday against El Reno, who I don't know how they did in their tournament this weekend, but they entered it undefeated and beat Carl Albert at El Reno earlier. And, of course, Carl Albert is shorthanded. Although I don't know how Skylar Anderson is as good as she is if she would have helped against the press from Sand Springs, but she would have helped them get maybe a bigger lead during the first 3 quarters.
So the lead goes out to 10, 59-49, and certainly has the look that Sand Springs is going to come in from T-Town up there in Tulsa and come win the Titan Classic. What a heck of a week for Coach Joshua Berry's team. That big win yesterday as the 3 for Brown doesn't go. And Bump is hit with 10.9 to go. You can call it now as far as Sand Springs taking home this title. They beat Edmond Memorial yesterday, and they come back and beat the home team today. What a week for Sand Springs. They got to be thrilled with coming in here and getting 3 wins. And Del City pushed them in that first game. That was a back-and-forth game. These were hard-fought wins for Sand Springs.
And it's the first time in this tournament.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting how, you credit Coach Richards. He wanted tough teams here. It wasn't all about winning the tournament. He wanted good competition, and he got it. But it was interesting. So many teams were looking to drop a tournament in 5A and 6A, but Sand Springs looked to add one, and they did, and got a really good competition, but also they're going to get a first-place trophy, so congratulations to them.
3 ball at the buzzer for Mitchell doesn't go, and that will finish it. Your final score in the championship game, the Sand Springs Lady Sandites win it 61-49, and they are the 2024 Titan Classic champions. Eastside Church of Christ Player of the Game Award. Jordan, what are you thinking here? There's a few options.
About to head down there, but I would vote for Kari Wilson just because how she finished the game.
She was phenomenal in the fourth quarter, so I'll roll with you on that. Kari Wilson, she was so good the whole tournament, too, is our Eastside Church of Christ Player of the Game. Multiple huge buckets in the fourth quarter of this one. The Eastside Church of Christ in Midwest City believes in loving Jesus by loving their neighbors. They invite you to join them Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. for Bible class with song and prayers beginning at 10 a.m. If you can't make it Sunday mornings, you're invited to study with them at 7 p.m. on Wednesdays. Check out their live and recorded streams on YouTube and find more information on their website at eastsidechurchofchrist.info. The Eastside Church of Christ at 916 South Douglas Boulevard in Midwest City. Kari Wilson, our Eastside Church of Christ Player of the Game for this championship game. Sensational in the fourth quarter of this one. And that's the difference in the end as Sand Springs wins it 61-49. You see the trophy presentation being doled out here. They're giving out some all-tournament team plaques here. And Hope Bump just got an all-tournament team. And Tayana Morris got a all-tournament team honor here as well. Stand by here as Jordan Ray will talk to Coach Joshua Berry, head coach of the champion Sandites. Of course, Kari Wilson gets an all-tournament team. That's a no-brainer. She was so good throughout the week here.
Trophy goes to Joshua Berry.
Coach Joshua Berry gets the trophy for the championship. What a week for Sand Springs. They open it up. They beat Del City in a hard-fought game on Thursday to open up this tournament. Then they go take down the number 1 seed yesterday in Edmond Memorial, and then they wrap up the week by taking down the hometown team. You won't find a more impressive week of wins across high school basketball this week. There's a ton of tournaments in Oklahoma this week. You'd be hard-pressed to find a more impressive week of wins than what Sand Springs just did, beating Del City, a stone's throw away from, obviously, their hometown, and a really good team in Del City, obviously, and then taking out number 1 seed Edmond Memorial yesterday, and now the hometown team in Carl Albert in the championship game with a heavy Carl Albert fan contingent here. Really impressive. All right, Jordan Ray's down with Coach Berry. We'll go to him now.
Joined by head coach Joshua Berry. All right, Coach. It's your first time in the Titan Classic. What do you think?
Well, I like it. It's actually not my first time. It's my first time on the girls' side. I've been here probably about 3 or 4 times on the boys' side back in the day. So I like being back. It's always a great tournament. They always do a good job. Kyle and Jay and them does a great job of hosting it.
All right, so in this game, you had to overcome foul trouble, 9-point deficit late in the third quarter, and then your team went up going up by double digits. How'd they do it?
Just grit and heart and toughness. It's been a long 3 days. I asked a lot out of them. I asked to pick up full court, game after game, three straight days, and they got it done.
How do you feel like this tournament run you went on will then help you as you hope to finish strong in district play?
Well, I think we're just taking one game at a time. This is a new team that we got right now, and we probably had about 3 or 4 new teams this season with the injuries and people coming and going, and so we just take it one game at a time and try to get better each day.
All right, Coach, congratulations.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, Josh.
Appreciate you, Jordan. Appreciate Coach Berry taking a few minutes there to talk to us after a heck of a week for his Sand Springs Lady Sandites. Jordan will rejoin me up here, and we'll kind of put finishing touches on another great week of basketball at the Titan Classic. Like we said at the beginning, just a girls-only event this year, so the field, not as many games as things like that, but we still had a great time bringing it to you. We hope everybody joined us along for the ride, 12 games in 3 days, and it was a heck of a week bringing you the Titan Classic as it is normally, and the Lady Sandites of Sand Springs are your champions. So Jordan has now rejoined me at our broadcast table. Jordan gets final thoughts for you on this game, this week of the Titan Classic. Sand Springs, I was saying while you were heading down there, there's tournaments going on all across the state this week. It's a big tournament week. I don't know if you could find a team with a more impressive week of wins than what Sand Springs put together here with Dell City, Edmond Memorial, and then Carl Albert in their home gym. That's as good as it gets, frankly, as far as 3 wins in 3 days to win one of these tournaments. Heck of a showing by Coach Barry's team.
Yeah, they beat the home team. They beat a team very close to home.
Right.
And then they beat Edmond Memorial. I was surprised at that because I thought the Bulldogs were, a little better, but Sand Springs beat them twice, so I need to stop thinking that. They got one more game against each other at Edmond Memorial, and they have to reschedule that game. That was a weather cancellation. So, it's interesting, Josh, because this is the end of tournament season, and for 5A and 6A teams, this doesn't have the same stakes because of districts. Now, that's what solely determines playoff seeding. But, when teams get on the floor, they don't really think about that. The coaches really don't think about that. They want to still go win and compete. And so we still had an incredibly competitive tournament for all the teams involved. So
This was a great field. This was a really good field. It feels like, obviously Epic had a bit of a tough go. They're a brand-new program. But the other 7, it's like any combination. If the stars aligned, you could have saw any combination of teams beating the other teams. This was a really competitive field and a really fun tournament. I had a fun time bringing it.
Just great for Carl Albert to get Sand Springs in there. Putnam City, I really liked watching them play, even though they lost 2 really close games. So they were able to stay and keep good teams in here. Didn't happen on the boys' side. Interesting, Coach Price told me he's going to try to get the boys' tournament back next year, and maybe some rule changes will help them out that will allow them, make it easier for teams to have 3 tournaments and schedule some regular season games out of district. You can't do both this year, and that's why we saw a reduction in teams in these tournaments. And some tournaments have had to go to a round-robin format, but not this one. And we saw a really good field and a lot of good competition. And I want to thank some different people for helping us out. First of all, we run through our sponsors: Casa Juanito, Rose State, Buffalo Wild Wings. We're going to have a Dell City Coaches Show with for Dell City this Wednesday at Buffalo Wild Wings, Dynamic Health Clinic, and then also Eastside Church of Christ. Don't know if their pastor Tracy is watching, but we hope he makes a recovery. He was going to announce some of these games. Bobby Lewis, of course, who does so much with us as well. And then we want to thank the student helpers here. So as you might see in the camera shot, Matthew Batista, who does a lot of producing for me now, couldn't make the first 2 days because they're earlier in the day and he's got school, but he helped out today, all 4 games. Bernie Wren running camera, helped out a little bit yesterday. Ileana Berryhill, Hope, I don't have her last name, but she helped the first game. So not as many as last year because not as many games, but we really appreciate all of them. And of course,
absolutely. Yeah.
Coach Kyle Ritchie was extremely helpful for this, and we really appreciate him. And for Middale basketball, I think Friday the 26th, Carl Albert goes to Elgin. Thankfully, we don't need to go do that game. So
it's another OSN school.
Yeah, Eric will call that game for our boss, Eric Sherem, and that'll be the next time we see them. And we'll have some, starting in February, we will pick it back up with some really good basketball on the Oklahoma Sports Network for Middale schools.
And, of course, obviously, whenever the postseason rolls around.
Oh, man.
If you've been with us, you know that we're all over that. We bring you a ton of playoff games.
We try to. It's going to be more challenging than ever because amongst the other changes, they've expanded regionals. And it's going to lead to, like, among other things, Friday afternoon games on the girls' side. Those are not the easiest to cover, to find people to cover it, but we're going to try as long as the Middale team's playing.
Absolutely. Can't wait for it. It's a great time of year when high school basketball really starts to get revved up. The home stretch of district play and now into the postseason, like we said. And It was a great week of doing this tournament. It was a lot of fun last year. This year, like I was saying, it's trimmed down because it was just a girls' field, but it still was a great time. We brought you all 12 games on OSN, and whether they bring the boys' tournament back or not next year, we plan on having it for you on OSN, the Titan Classic. So that's it. It's been a great week. Congratulations again to Sand Springs. A phenomenal week of basketball. They played really, really high level all 3 days, and they come from the east side to Carl Albert Fieldhouse, and they win the Titan Classic. So that's it. We'll catch you next time. High school basketball will be back. Keep an eye out for Game of the Week coverage as well. Got some things planned on that front with Jordan and I for some more fun games. Like he said, more Middale hoops in the postseason will be around the corner in February as well. Thank you so much for tuning in all week long to the 2024 Titan Classic. We'll see you guys next time for high school basketball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. For Jordan Ray, I'm Josh Calloway signing off from Carl Albert Fieldhouse. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.